Because here's the truth in today's world, people expect to get some information for free before they commit to paying. And this is becoming the norm in the legal and financial fields. This is what we're seeing, and this is the best way to actually start that conversation. By offering valuable free resources, you're not just giving away information, you're building trust, you're showcasing your expertise, and you're planting the seeds for future client relationships. I'm Sylvia Garibaldi, founder and CEO of a well-established marketing training and done-for-you services company, tailored specifically for the modern legal and financial professional worldwide. While it's taken some trial and error to figure out which methods get the best results for professionals who are looking to grow their practices, fast forward to today, my team and I have nailed down and perfected a process that has helped so many of our clients consistently achieve outstanding results and create a legacy for their practices. I created the Serve First, Sell Later marketing podcast to give you simple, actionable, non-salesy, and results-driven marketing to grow your legal or financial practice like so many of our clients have. If you're a lawyer, mediator, financial, or divorce professional who is looking to become highly visible and wants to create a practice that makes an impact, then you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 33 of the Serve First, Sell Later marketing podcast. Did you know that legal and financial professionals who actively engage in thought leadership are significantly more likely to be considered for high-profile cases and client engagements? That's right. In today's episode, I'm going to be diving deep into the strategies that professionals can use to create a loyal community of followers while showcasing their expertise. And I'm also going to talk about why it's so important to do so. So I'm going to break it all down for you in simple steps, and we will explore how to establish your expertise by learning how to identify your niche and developing that consistent personal brand while showcasing your credentials and experience. We're going to talk about creating valuable content, discover the power of the different platforms available, blogs, videos, webinars. We're going to cover that all. We're going to talk about leveraging social media, how to particularly use LinkedIn to expand your reach and influence. Networking and collaboration is another big way to create that following and building your thought leadership. And of course, we're also going to talk about offering free resources as a way to bring in new followers, and also how to stay current and innovative so that you can actually offer more value and create more followers as a result of that. So I guess the question I'd like to ask is, why is it so important to build that following? And I think thought leadership, it's not just about sharing your expertise, it's about positioning yourself as that trusted advisor and influencer in your particular field. And by creating a community of followers, you'll be seen as that authoritative figure. You're going to actually start to attract higher value clients because a strong following often leads to more qualified leads, and what we've seen as well is more lucrative client engagements. And I think it's also important to understand that thought leaders have the power to shape and impact their industry. And so when you're a thought leader, you will be contributing to positive changes and advancements. And of course, as we all know, when you have a bigger following, it does increase your visibility. So let's dive deeper into this. But before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to our podcast so that you never miss an episode. And if you find today's content valuable, please leave us a review or rate us. That would help us reach more professionals like you. All right, so let's get started here. According to a 2022 study, approximately 74% of Americans are more likely to trust someone with an established personal brand. So that means nearly 3/4 of potential clients are looking for professionals who stand out from the crowd. And in a crowded field of professionals, as you know, standing out is more important than ever. So establishing your expertise requires a few important steps. Number one is you need to identify your niche and your unique value proposition. You've heard me talk about this before. If you've been listening and following along in this podcast, you'll know that I talk about that a lot. Number two is developing a consistent personal brand. And number three is showcasing your credentials and experience. So I want to touch on briefly identifying your niche. And this is all about finding your voice and your story. I want you to think about what makes you unique in your field. I'm sure you've heard this question a million times, but the question is a very important one. You need to be able to decide and figure out what makes you unique. Could it be your personal experiences? Maybe your passion for the field, your specialized knowledge? All of these things can set you apart in a crowded field. So remember that clients often connect with professionals on a personal level. So don't be afraid to let your individuality shine through. Next, you want to think about developing a consistent personal brand. And that this is really important and is often overlooked. So think of your personal brand as the thread that really ties all your professional activities together. So it's about presenting a cohesive image across all the platforms, from your website to your social media profiles to even your in-person interactions. So consistency in your messaging, visual identity, and value, what this does is this builds trust and recognition over time. I hope this is making sense. And then you want to showcase your credentials and your experience. But here's the key with this one. It's not about just listing all of your qualifications. It's all about demonstrating how that expertise actually translates into tangible results for your clients. So how do you do that? Think about sharing case studies, testimonials, concrete examples of how you've helped clients overcome challenges or achieve their goals. And remember, if confidentiality is an issue, you can always put another name to them for confidentiality reasons and just share the example. So don't let that stop you from sharing the cases that you've worked on and how you've helped resolve them. So let's say, for example, you have a potential client who is grappling with a very complex divorce issue, and they're feeling overwhelmed, confused, and desperately seeking guidance. What they do is they turn to Google and they stumble upon your blog post that breaks down the process step by step, offering clarity and hope. So I want you to think about that. What happens in that moment is that you've not only provided invaluable information, but also positioned yourself as a trusted expert. That's the power of valuable content. So that's what I want to cover right now is the power of valuable content. And there's evidence pointing to that clients or prospective clients prefer getting to know a company through articles or blog content or social media rather than ads. So let that sink in for a little bit. Organic reach is very, very powerful. And so you need to think about how you can create that organic reach. So let's talk about this. How to create powerful content that can resonate with your ideal target market. So you can do things like starting a blog with informative articles. You can produce educational videos or webinars. I highly recommend you look into this one because this is a really powerful one. And so we see a lot of traction with those online events, particularly webinars or online workshops. You could think about launching a podcast, or if that feels too overwhelming, you can contribute to existing ones, meaning do some guest podcasting. You can also write guest posts for industry publications, and that will really create a following and expand your reach. So what I want to really emphasize here is that each of these methods, they offer a really unique way to showcase your expertise and allow you to connect with your audience and grow those followers. But here's the important thing. It's not about being everywhere. It's about being where your ideal market is with the information that they need the most. So imagine a divorce financial analyst hosting a webinar on 5 financial mistakes to avoid during divorce, or an estate planning attorney launching a podcast series called Legacy Talks. So these aren't just content pieces. These are lifelines for people navigating complex life events. So just think about if you are in their shoes and you're experiencing this life event, how interested would you be in that topic? And that's what you need to ask yourself. If people are in those situations, how interested would they be in your topic? But here's a word of caution. In the world of content creation, quality really trumps quantity every time. So this is why I've made that reference to ensuring that you are really putting yourself in their shoes and creating content that would resonate with them. So one well-researched, thoughtfully crafted piece can do more for your reputation than a dozen rushed pieces. So this is why I say, quality trumps quantity. So think about that. So whether you are really a seasoned content creator or you're just dipping your toes into these waters, I really want you to think about how possible this is for you when you keep this thought process top of mind when creating content. Now, if you want to learn more about messaging and creating your content, then you need to check out episode number 12 of our podcast so that you're creating content that gets the attention of your target market. And I'll put it in the show notes for you. All right, switching gears now, I want to talk about leveraging social media, in particular LinkedIn, to build your thought leadership following. Now, I know that this topic might make you groan a little bit, but trust me, it's a game changer because leveraging social media, particularly with a focus on LinkedIn, will pay dividends. So, I know that most of you here listening don't see yourself as an influencer, but here's an important thing to remember. That LinkedIn isn't just a professional network for job hunting anymore. It's really a goldmine for client acquisition and thought leadership. And so if you are not attracting clients, if you're not having client conversations from LinkedIn, then you need to set up a call with me and I will share with you how we can help you get there in terms of what is it that you need to do to start attracting more clients? Because a social media platform is there to build awareness, but it's also there to create conversation. And if it's not creating enough conversation for you with ideal prospects, then something is not working on your profile. So I want to stress that leveraging the power of LinkedIn to build your professional brand and attract high quality clients is going to play a role in building your following. So let me paint a quick picture for you. So imagine that you're posting a thoughtful analysis of a recent court decision affecting divorce settlements. And within hours, it's been shared by colleagues, it's been commented on by potential clients, and it's even caught the eye of a journalist for an expert to quote. And someone who wants to feature you on their podcast. This isn't just a pipe dream. This is the reality that many professionals who've mastered LinkedIn are encountering. When you master LinkedIn, these are the sorts of things that you should be seeing. And we see this quite frequently, not only from our business, but also from those of our clients. So it is truly possible. And it's not really about posting every day or having the most connections. It's about consistency, quality, and strategic engagement. We also know that LinkedIn users who share content weekly, they see significantly higher engagement than those who don't. So that's another place to check out. Are you posting consistently? That could be once a week. That's consistently. It doesn't need to be 5 times a week or 7 times a week, but there's got to be consistency. And there really are real opportunities to showcase your expertise, to connect with potential clients, and to position yourself as a thought leader in your field. So you really need to think about how you can best leverage LinkedIn to create that following. And that following needs to grow. If the following is not growing, then it's really difficult to increase your reach and start attracting more of your ideal clients. I hope this is making sense. All right, moving on to the next. So for some of you, you might actually start breaking out into a cold sweat when someone talks about networking and collaboration. But stick with me on this one. So let's say you're a divorce attorney who's really dreading networking. Like you're the one who stands in the corner nursing that drink, wondering why you even bothered to show up, right? I'm sure a lot of you are nodding your head on this one. So you might view networking as maybe just schmoozing and handing out business cards. And I want to really emphasize that real networking is about building genuine relationships. It's about finding ways to help others and in turn growing your own practice. So let me break down 4 strategies that can transform how you approach your thinking about networking so that you can grow that following and build that thought leadership. So, first up is attending industry events and conferences. These aren't just excuses for free coffee and swag bags. They're really gold mines of information and connections. But here's the trick: don't just attend, participate, ask questions, start conversations, and remember that everyone is there looking to connect just like you. And if you set the intention, I want to have 2, I want to have 3 really in depth conversations, stick to that. And don't feel like you have to just keep moving from person to person. Just focus on a few quality conversations because those are the quality conversations you're going to take back to the office and you're going to continue to do the follow up. So, you also need to look at joining professional associations and online communities. These are like your professional home bases, right? They're where you can find mentors, you can stay up to date on industry trends, and you can even find new clients there. And I think the best part about this is that you can often participate from the comfort of your own office when you're actually doing networking in online communities. So, third on this list is collaborating with other professionals for cross promotion. And I think the point here is to really look at these co collaborations as an opportunity to expand your network. So imagine teaming up with maybe a financial planner to offer a workshop on the financial aspects of divorce. Suddenly, you're both reaching new audiences and showcasing your expertise. It's a win win for everyone. And last but not least, seeking speaking opportunities at events and webinars. Now, I know public speaking isn't everyone's cup of tea, but hear me out on this one because there's no faster way to position yourself as an expert and to grow that following than by sharing your knowledge from a stage or from a screen. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. So here's the thing: you don't have to be a social butterfly to make these strategies work. If you're an introvert, start small. Set a goal to make one connection at your next event, as I just mentioned. And if you're an extrovert, challenge yourself to go beyond small talk and form deeper professional relationships. So here's your challenge for the week. I want you to pick one of these strategies and commit to trying it in the next month. So attend the conference you've been putting off, join that online community, reach out to a colleague about a potential collaboration. It's really just all about taking that first step. And here's the truth: in this line of work, who you know can be just as important as what you know. And every connection you make is a potential opportunity waiting to happen. And I think that's the mindset you need to have when you go into this kind of networking and collaboration to grow your following. Now, I want to dive into a strategy that might seem counterintuitive at first, and that is giving stuff away for free or giving content away for free. And what I'm talking about here is offering free resources to build your reputation and attract your ideal clients. Now, I know what you're thinking. You may be thinking, well, I'm running a practice here, not a charity, so why should I be giving out this free information? Offering free resources isn't just about giving away the farm. It's about showing potential clients the value that you bring to the table. So I want to share an example of a client of ours who was struggling to attract new clients. So he decided to create a free downloadable guide called 10 Things You Need to Know Before Divorcing. And within a month, his email list tripled. And he was fielding calls from potential clients who had read this guide and wanted to learn more. And that's the power of free resources when done properly. So, what kind of free resources are we talking about? Let's break this down for you. So, the first one would be downloadable guides or checklists. And these are great because they're practical and they're easy to share. So think divorce checklist, 20 things to consider before filing, or estate planning 101, a beginner's guide. These resources showcase your expertise and they give people a reason to trust you. So you can learn all about downloadable guides and lead magnets in episode 18 of the Serve First, Sell Later marketing podcast. And I'll put a link for that in the show notes if you want to listen to that. Next, you can create Q&A sessions or live streams. And these are fantastic for engaging directly with your audience. So you can answer questions in real time. You can show off your personality. You can build that warmth. You can create that connection with potential clients. Plus, you can record these sessions and then use them later on as potential content. Third on our list is free consultations or assessments. Now, I know some of you might be hesitant about this one, but remember, you're not giving away your services for free. You're offering a taste of what it's like to work with you, and it's a chance to show potential clients the value that you bring to their situation. And I think that one's an important one to consider, especially in the legal and financial fields. We're seeing more and more of these free assessment sessions to build the know, like, and trust factor. Last but not least is an email newsletter with valuable insights. And this is your direct line to people's inboxes. And I want you to use it wisely. So I want you to think about sharing tips, maybe comments on industry news, or offer sneak peeks of your paid services and some case studies of how you've helped clients overcome these challenges. The key here is to make it so valuable that people look forward to receiving it right away. Okay, so you can create your own newsletter via your email list, or you can create one via LinkedIn. LinkedIn has an exceptional feature where you can create your own newsletter directly on LinkedIn, and they send it on your behalf to all of your subscribers. And they also send the newsletter directly to their email address without you even having to do that. So it's a really great tool. Now, here's the million-dollar question. How do you make sure that these free resources actually lead to paying clients? The answer is simple. Always include a clear next step or a strong call to action. So at the end of your guide or at the end of your webinar, you're going to invite readers to schedule a consultation with you. In your Q&A session, you can mention your services that relate to the questions asked, and your free resources should always lead people to want to learn more from you. Okay, I hope this is resonating with you. So here's your homework. Think about one free resource that you could create in the next week. Maybe it's a simple checklist, or maybe it's a short video. Maybe you're going live explaining a common legal or financial concept that many people struggle to understand but really need to know about. So whatever it is, make it valuable, make it shareable, and make sure it showcases your expertise. Because here's the truth. In today's world, people expect to get some information for free before they commit to paying. And this is becoming the norm in the legal and financial fields. This is what we're seeing, and this is the best way to actually start that conversation. By offering valuable free resources, you're not just giving away information, you're building trust, you're showcasing your expertise, and you're planting the seeds for future client relationships. Okay, so the next area that I think is quite important for building a following is staying current and innovative. So what do I mean by that? In our fast-paced industry, staying ahead of the curve, it's not just about being competitive. It's about providing the best possible service to your clients. Okay, so how can you stay current and innovative? I want to break this down into 3 key areas. First up, you want to keep up with industry trends and changes. And this isn't just about reading the occasional news article. This is about doing a deep dive into what's happening in your field. So subscribe to those industry publications, follow those thought leaders on social media, and attend those conferences. Make it a habit to spend at least 60 minutes a week just catching up on the latest developments. It might seem like a lot, But trust me, it will pay off when you are building up this knowledge. Next, offer commentaries on these new laws or regulations. And this is where you can really, really shine. So once you've done your research for the week, consider offering those commentaries. For example, when a new law comes out and that affects your area of expertise, don't just read about it, analyze it. What does it mean for your clients? How will it change the way you work? So you can do a blog post on it, you can record a video, you can host a webinar on it. Sometimes when it's quite substantial information, it merits a webinar. And you can explain the changes in plain language, always getting down to the way your ideal prospects, clients, and referral partners need to understand what you are talking about. So people are hungry for this kind of information. And if you're the one providing it, they'll see you as the trusted expert. Okay, I hope this is making sense for you. And lastly, this is a big one. Developing innovative solutions or approaches to common problems. So this is what separates the good professionals from the excellent ones. So look at the challenges your clients face and then ask yourself, is there a better way to do this? And the answer may not be clear cut, and it may not be an answer that you can snap your fingers at and have immediately. But I want you to look at a new way of how to structure something. So maybe it's a unique approach to negotiating settlements, or maybe it's how to structure a divorce financial plan. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I'm not an innovator. I'm just doing my job as well as I can. But here's the thing. Innovation doesn't have to mean inventing something completely new, because that's pretty overwhelming, to be quite honest. I want you to think about it as finding a better way or a better process to do. So this is how I want you to think about it. How to find a better way or a better process to do something that's already being done. So innovation can be as simple as developing a step-by-step guide with checklists. That's your way of doing it. And that could be innovative because it's your own personal way of how you get the best results. It could be, timelines to make complex processes easier for your clients. So what I'm trying to say here is it's about looking at your work from your client's perspective and finding ways to improve their experience. So here's your challenge. In the next week, I want you to pick one area of your work and ask yourself, how could I do this better? Maybe it's improving the client communication. Maybe it's sending an email as soon as ideal prospects become clients. Maybe it's streamlining your processes. Maybe it's finding a new way to explain complex concepts and maybe putting it in a PDF file so that every time you get a new client that comes in the door, you send them this PDF. Whatever it is, take the first step towards innovation. And remember that staying current and innovative isn't just about keeping up and doing that weekly reading. It's about standing out and taking that extra step. It's about becoming the professional that clients seek out because they know you're always one step ahead. So we've covered a lot of ground here, and I hope that you're feeling inspired and equipped to take your thought leadership to the next level. And to just quickly summarize, we've really talked about the importance of establishing your expertise, creating that valuable content, leveraging social media, particularly LinkedIn, networking and collaboration, offering free resources, and staying current and innovative. So what I want to leave you with is this. Simply, thought leadership isn't just about sharing knowledge, it's about becoming a trusted advisor in your field. And I think by building a loyal community of followers, you can really enhance your credibility. You can attract those high-value clients. You can influence those industry trends, and you can increase your visibility. So what's your next step? Is it starting a blog, sharing insights on LinkedIn? Maybe it's attending an industry event. Just choose one. Choose one strategy and commit to it for the month, for the week, and just keep moving forward with it. And if you found today's content valuable, make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. And I'd be really honored if you rate or review the show. Thanks for joining in, and see you in the next episode.